What's going on, everybody? I'm Alicia Nicole with the After Dark Crew. But tonight we go. Well, today, not tonight, but today we're gonna do. We're coming with Joshua Life, and today we're not with the crew, but we are doing a one-on-one with Joshua. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi. Well, my artist name is Joshua Life. My regular name is Joshua. I'm from Miami. I've been making music since since about middle school. Really, since I was literally less than 10 years old, I started playing guitar at the age of 7. And I started taking classes. That's really what got me into music. And then going into high school, I started recording my own music. I started producing, and I really went from a normal guitar player to a producer to now an artist.
Okay, and you hear it, fans. So, do you have anyone that you consider your mentor in the music industry?
Yeah, of course. Throughout my life, usually my guitar teacher has always been like my closest mentor. I've only had 3 serious guitar teachers my whole life, and I've been playing for over 10 years. So that's like every teacher that I've had, and they all know each other too. It's all part of the same group, so they're all like mentors to me. Right now, I have a friend that moved recently from LA that we met really less than a year ago, but the bond has been super close, and he's really
Right.
mentoring me, and he's helping me get into the industry and getting to know the business side of everything. So it's close people in my life.
That's awesome. A family, not considered a family, so that you can be more
Of course.
comfortable with that. So, have they had any advice that they have given you that you can take and also give to someone that's coming behind you as an as a artist, as up and coming artist? So, what advice have they have given you that you
Yeah.
wouldn't mind sharing?
Well, the first thing I would say is once you have something that you can show, once you have something that you can perform with, or something that you feel that is worthy of fans, or worthy of having people, you think it's going to be something that's going to attract people, um, you need to start focusing more on what's going to keep it up. So I started making music, and I just started releasing music thinking that that's all I needed. And then um, turns out I only had a distributor. I didn't have any other knowledge about where the other royalties, where the other money was coming in from. You need to know about that so that you don't go hungry. So you don't have to have thousands of fans to to make your money. You also need to find people with the same mentality as you. You need to have people in your life that are trying to reach the same goals as you, so that you don't stay alone in there.
There you go. There you have it. So, can you describe your creative process in making music?
Um, well, I first started as a guitar player, as I already mentioned. So usually I start off, I'll be playing my guitar, I'll be vibing out to it. Um, but sometimes lyrics pop up in my head. Honestly, um, as a Christian, I read the Bible a lot, and that sometimes it inspires me a lot, especially the past year and a half. There were a lot of moments in my life, a lot of things that I went through, the deaths of some people in my life and things like that, and it brought me inspiration. Reading the Bible is what like brought me up, and kept me doing music. And I finished up a whole album, and now I have 3 albums. 2 of which are going to come out in 2021 probably.
There you go. There you have it. Now, there are a lot of people that's in the industry and also unside artists, we might consider as indie artists, that are afraid to acknowledge God in their music, acknowledge God that their success comes from God, and they always try to put it on the back burner. But what I like about your music and about who you are, you stand on the fact that God is your boundary, your
Yeah.
fence, everything is around you, surrounding you is God. And I really love that. And I would like people that's coming behind you and also the ones in the industry to use that. He's the reason for you. He's the reason
Of
that you're
course.
here. And I love the fact that you stand on that. And that gives me inspiration to go forward. And I will also preach the word as well. And also not to be afraid of mentioning God,
Yeah.
in everything you do. So, can you said you told me you started making music since you were in middle school, correct? So
Yeah, I recorded my first, or I would say I finished my first track when I was in middle school.
and that's amazing. So what? So since you began in making music in middle school, what is the difference now in your music? In your music, is it still on the same, or how have you grown since middle
Well,
school and making music?
I remember in middle school, it's all the environment around me. I remember when I was in middle school, there was the wave that started, this whole rap wave, trap wave that started, that reached its peak in 2016. We were in the middle of that in my youth, everybody I knew. So uh, I was really just trying to copy what was going on, and I had my own style, and I developed my own style and everything. But I feel like now, um, as you do music and as you go through life, there's just things that happen and people you meet and things like that that are gonna bring you to develop your own style. Especially like in my case, you know, I feel like I didn't fully develop my style or fully begin to develop my specific style until I went through a lot of things that happened in the past couple of years, where I had to grasp solely on my relationship with God and how deep my faith really was. I questioned my faith a lot of times, and I had to really decide what it is that I believe in. And that really, it sounds a little bit corny that it mixes with music, but it really does. It really does inspire you.
It doesn't sound corny at all. Now you've been a young man. I really admire that, and I hope this gives inspiration to others that are afraid, to tap into that side, because God is everything. God is light. God is the truth. God is the way. And I would love people to acknowledge it. And I'm so happy to see a young man in this time that's acknowledging God and also
Right.
is being successful in music. So I
Thank
really,
you.
really thank you for that. And I really do thank you for that. So a supporter had asked, who I sent a message out to some people, and they had wanted to know how. His guy's name is Reginald. He said, "How is your faith? How does your faith play a big part in your music?"
Okay. Well, I'll give you an example. 2019, fall 2019, I went through uh, a bit of an episode with my family where literally the week that school started, my grandma died the second day of school. The same day later that day, we lost our car. Um, Later on, I went through a football injury that same week. That it was the first game of the season, and I couldn't play football the rest of the season. Um, we lost our second car later on in the fall, and then later on my grandpa died. So it was like so many things happening at the same time, and we lost our house. It was crazy, and I was like, what did I do to deserve this? And what does this have to do with music? I was like, I was raised in a Christian family, but I never really paid attention to like what it is. Like I'm just an average kid that goes to church and this and that. Well, I started paying attention to that book that my parents talk about so much, and I started reading the Bible, and I was like, it really is the only thing that brought that lifted me up spiritually, at least, and it was the one thing. Like reading the Bible was what brought me peace, and I slept better as an athlete. It's hard to explain, but it does bring you up on the inside. And I finished a whole mixtape with 17 songs out, and I released it. I didn't have all the knowledge that I do now, but and I'm remastering the mixtape to release it later on. But I finished a whole mixtape based on that and my experiences and how the Bible really brought me up, and it made me see life completely differently. I was in the middle of school, and my whole focus was college and work and what am I going to do when I grow up. And then there were so many things at that point that I realized school is not necessarily the center of my life, nor is music. I have to figure out what really brings me up, and it was the Bible for me.
There you have it, you guys. So thank you, Reggie, for that question. And April is, where can I find your music?
You can literally look up Joshua Life on Google together. You can look up, on my knowledge panel on Google, they have my Spotify. You can look me up on Spotify, Joshua Life, Apple Music, Joshua Life. Any whatever platforms you listen to, just look me up as Joshua Life, and my music should be there.
Okay, there you have it, you guys. I do thank you for that, but we would like to have you come back. It was just a
All right.
it's a 101, but we would like to schedule time where you come back with the whole platform, with the whole crew, and we can get your music out there. We can also talk to you, get more depth, and the crew members would love to sit down with you because you have a lot that you have to offer. But
Thank you so much.
there you have it, you guys. A 101 with the crew. Well, not the crew, but one of the crew members. Do you have anything that you'd like to tell the supporters until we schedule that big day?
Well, my number one advice is always, as an artist, you gotta first figure out how you're gonna eat. So first figure out what you're gonna sell, how you're gonna sell your music, then focus on the creative process.
There you have it, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. Joshua Life is here, and I will be posting a clip of his music after the interview, so y'all check it out. And Instagram, hope you guys go on, like, subscribe, or something. Instagram, YouTube. You have a YouTube channel with your music.
Yeah, Joshua Life Music on YouTube, Joshua Life Music on all socials. Yeah, and follow the After Dark group.
All righty, and thank you guys for having. Thank you for tuning in, and y'all have a good day now.